Sam, welcome to another Divi tutorial. So this one is not necessarily just for Divi, but we've used it on a Divi build, as you can see here. So the effect that I'm going to talk about is we've used it on the return to the top button that you get. So you just enable the button in your Divi theme. So I'm going to show you that quickly. Which is, if you log on to your Divi build, you can enable the return to top button here, back to top button. What that does, it gives you a little button down in the right hand corner when you scroll past a certain area of the screen. So once you've scrolled past the full screen, you'll get a return to home button in the bottom right hand corner. Normally it's a small little box with an up semi-up arrow in it, and you click on that and it takes you to the top of the screen again. So what we're going to do is we are going to animate that, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is talk about how we do it. So if we look at the CSS class or the CSS option of AtKeyFrames, so what this does basically, it's a transition between one CSS style and another CSS style. So it's an animation that is created by gradually changing from one set of CSS styles to another, as it says here. If you want to find out more about this, then you can go to the w3schools.com website and have a look for, just do a search for AtKeyFrames. Now there's two types. So AtKeyFrames is only supported in Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge. To take advantage of the effect in all the other browsers, you have to use the WebKit keyframes, and I'll show you the CSS to switch that on and then to enable it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look at the effect. So if I go to this website and I scroll down, so you can see here it's appeared, and what we've got, we've given it a little bit of styling. So I've made this slightly wider than it is normally. I've coloured it red, and then we've applied the keyframes animation to it to actually blink on and off. Now normally the blink option in CSS only applies to text, but using the keyframes allows us to actually animate the whole object. So how do we do it? Well, the first thing that we want to do is, if we go to, imagine this is a standard object, so we do a right click, we're going to have a look at the element property, and as you can see here, this is the object here. So we're going to take the visible aspect of it, which is here. So we're going to take the CSS class and we're going to add that into our custom CSS within Divi. So because I've already done it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the code that I've used to give it this effect. So here we need to, first of all, we obviously tell our audience what the CSS does. So it styles the back to top button. And we're going to enable the keyframes, and we're going to tell it that actually the effect we're going to use is blink, and we're going to switch it on and off by using the 50% and give it an opacity of 0.0. So what this does basically, it says I'm going to make it transparent and then make it not transparent, and we're going to alternate between those in the blink option. So to scroll to animate the button, as I said, we need to enable these this CSS, and then to actually style the button, as you can see here, what we've done here is I've said I want to make the width 100 pixels wide. You can make it bigger, so if we were to change that to 200, that will obviously grow the size of the button. And we're going to give it a background of red, and then the animation, I'm going to blink every 1 second, so I'm going to switch it on and switch it off every second, and we use the animation for Internet Explorer and Edge, and then we use the WebKit animation for Chrome, Firefox, Safari and Opera. What I'll do is I'll pop this code I'll put a link to it in the description below, and then you can download it and use it as you see fit. So where do we want to put that code? Well, we want to put that into our Divi CSS. So we're going to go back to our Divi options. We're going to scroll to the bottom and we're going to add it as CSS to the bottom. Save the changes, and then you can go and refresh your screen and you will have the blinking object. So if you click on it, that will take you back to the top and then it will vanish. You will notice that actually the way that the return to top button works is when you're in full screen mode, it's still visible, but they make it invisible. So when you've got the whole screen here, it's on the right hand side, but it's made transparent so you can't see it. And as we scroll down past one screen width, it'll then reappear again. So that's all there is to it. If you found that video useful, give it a thumbs up, and just like to say thank you for watching.